coming into day 12 now. We put in this protected high with all of these sweeps. We've swept these two highs. We're still delivering out of this volume imbalance or a new week opening gap, and we're coming down from it now. We have all of these relative lows here. Now this is also really strange. We're not even delivering off of anything on NQ or ES. I think my condition is these two 4-hour fair value gaps. If we can finish through this, and more comfortably if we can finish through this, then it would be a lot more bearish today. Okay, so right here we just pump at market open. What I'm really looking for is some form of manipulation up and reaction downwards. I'm also looking to see how we react out of the 4 hours, because if we're too bullish, then I'll have to change my bias. So I'm stuck kind of in this mid-zone, kind of juggling two sort of biases, depending on the conditions, depending on the reaction of price. And by judging by the initial burst upwards on NQ and ES, and the fact that we didn't just come up and then come down, kind of painted a bigger picture for me in believing that the draw is actually above and we are in fact bullish at the moment, and those draws below are not the current draw. Now this 1 minute short play was potentially the only sort of short play today. I didn't take it because I just didn't like the current delivery. I would have much preferred us delivering out of a strong gap before continuing lower, but the fact that our delivery was so low resistance made me unconfident that we were going to come down any further. Now this play would have only worked out for a 1-to-1, so I didn't miss out on too much. Fast forwarding now a bit into the session, and we've left behind a 5 minute, pretty set on longs at this point. If I'm expecting a long setup, I anticipate that we manipulate into the 5 minute below before distributing up higher. So I've marked it out, and that's where I expect my delivery to be from. But after we come up and we sweep some major buy side liquidity before we come down and manipulate, I get the idea that if we came up and took the buy side before we manipulated, then we'll come back down and target some internal liquidity, which would have been the 5 minute fair value gap below. So I took a mech model short after sweeping the liquidity above and targeted the 5 minute underneath.
Order filled.
Now I really love this trade idea, and I did see online afterwards when I finished up my trading that a lot of people actually did take this trade. They said today, out of the few trades that were available, this was definitely one of the higher quality ones. A pretty fast break-even trade. Unfortunately, we never did make it down to the 5 minute gap, but lucky I put my break-even where I did, because the break-even saved me from a loss.
Order canceled.
Alright, this is day 13 of journaling every day until I become profitable, and what we have on the daily time frame is a big drop because the news of the war, we had a huge drop down. We have a daily SMT, I believe. We swept these lows, and these lows are untouched on NQ, so we have a bullish SMT. We have the new week opening gap that we're currently in, and we have these relative equal highs above. Now we did pump at market open, but we're inside this 4 hour volume imbalance, or it'll be the new day opening gap or new week opening gap. So we'll see how we react out of that. We're inside it on both assets. Preferably I would like a sweep. Let's go down to the 15 minute. Here's a big tip for IFVG traders. A lot of people will see this 1 minute after the huge pump and take this short. Cool. That's a bad short, and I'll tell you exactly why. But look, we're inside a huge 3 minute. You'd be crazy to short into this. This is really high resistance. We most likely just bounce off of this fair value gap and continue higher. I'm going to fade this, and the reason I'm fading it is because there's news at 10 a.m. in 6 minutes. It's a nice inversion. We do have a nice break-even point here as well, and it would be the 5 minute, I believe, which I said was a huge draw, and I'm surprised we didn't tap into it. The reason I'm fading it is because of this high right here on the 15 minute time frame. We just didn't sweep it.
This right now, this is probably going to be a losing trade, but that's completely fine, okay? And look, we still have potential to reverse here, which is completely fine. Okay, we
Okay.
exited.
And as you can see there, Timmy lost out on that trade. TGR is students. But anyway, um, what we just do from here on out is we just kind of trend line up, put in low resistance. For every green candle, there was a red candle. So it was really just really low resistance, choppy price action up. What I really expected to happen or anticipated to happen was a big move up and then an inversion down to that 5 minute that we failed to tap into. Very surprised that we still haven't tapped into that 5 minute at least. But yeah, after we took the 15 minute high, I really expected to deliver out of that 5 minute below before continuing higher. So I was looking for shorts into that 5 minute, the same as yesterday. I failed to get the start of this trade on video, but what I said was going to happen basically exactly happened. We got a move up and then we got a nice inversion on the 5 minute downwards. Entered off the 5 minute inversion, targeting the large 5 minute below with trend line or low resistance liquidity below us. I even added in positions as we started getting closer to the target. Unfortunately, this is just a horrible price action and we got stopped out at break even. Day two, break even day again, but protecting capital and good trades altogether.
Order cancelled.
So going straight into technical analysis, what do I see? I seen that, can you believe it? The two 4 hour gaps that were right beside each other were the exact draw. We came right up, we tapped right into it, and we just dumped. We dumped through this 4 hour, and I think now we're going to be really bearish with the fundamentals involved. But I knew this was the draw. Yesterday I even mentioned this was the draw, and literally we come in by a couple of points and we absolutely dump. So now I'll be looking for some sort of delivery up, and I'll be targeting these points below. We got two daily lows here. I think the best delivery point for us at the minute will be this 4 hour BPR. We do have a BPR here, but if we go down to the hourly, we have like stacked liquidity here. So either we bounce off of this. If we are really bearish, I suspect us to just come into this 15 minute here. So this is market open right now, and as you can see, we just pump up and we go right into our point of delivery. So now I'm expecting some sort of short. If we're extremely bearish, all I need is a visual confirmation like an IFVG, and we do get that IFVG.
Order filled.
So I enter off of the IFVG, I put my stop loss above an order block that we created on the 1 minute, targeting those lows that I mentioned when I was giving my technical analysis. Now I did make one mistake during this trade, and I did not go break even when the internal low was swept, and that came back to haunt me.
Stop filled.
Wow. And that's what you get for not going break even. So after this, price just dumped towards the draw, towards the place that I had anticipated price to go towards. Not before chopping around for a half an hour before that, though. I prefer when we get a nice clean move towards the draw. So for me personally, I would have never have caught a trade within this move because of that choppy price action, followed by no setup and then dump towards the draw. So my one chance of catching the trade was technically a break even, but unfortunately I took a stupid loss. Unlucky today, we'll go into tomorrow with a clear head.
Order filled.
So this is day 15 of journaling my trades every day until I'm profitable. Unfortunately today I didn't even get my trade or any technical analysis on camera. I was actually on a call, that's why, I'm going to be completely honest, and I didn't want to record the call. But anyway, this was the trade. Here I have a screenshot, and that's just to verify that's my laptop at the time of getting the trade. Took a picture of my laptop in the middle of it, 170 plus points. Lovely trade, and it was just going off that I was bearish, and we got that bearish 3 minute close, put in a 3 minute order block, and then we absolutely dumped, and I actually trailed this one. To be honest, I've been reading the book recently, Best Loser Wins by Tom Hogard, and he mentions that like what differentiates like the best traders from unprofitable traders is the best traders, they don't set limit orders. So I just decided to give it a go, and I actually managed to get an extra 70 points out of this trade. This is a brilliant trade today that set me up huge R. It made yesterday's loss look like nothing, and a great way to nearly end the week. We still have one more day to go.
Stop filled.
Alright, so this is our condition, 10 a.m. If we close below this, bearish to down here. We got a big 1 minute here. I think this is going to take us down to the hourly.
So we're gonna get this inverse, guys. So I'm gonna take this.
There's the hourly tapped.
Order filled.
This trade idea was going over the fact that we had news high above. We had an SMT. We were delivering out of a large 1 minute first presented fair value gap of the AM session. So we had nice delivery and we had nice context. Now my bias wasn't determined until 10 a.m. I said that if we closed through bearish, then I would be bearish. So until then, kind of a neutral bias. And we did have strong news draws above, and that was definitely the strongest draw, I think, currently at 8:30. This was a good trade idea. Unfortunately, it was just not the inversion to take us up.
Stop filled.
This trade was based off the same idea of coming into a nice delivery point, strong fair value gap, and big displacement up, again targeting the news highs.
Order filled.
This one was a lot better, but then again, the break even was really close, and we did have fair value gaps below us that we could easily mitigate and take us out before continuing higher. Luckily, that did not happen. Unfortunately, with this trade, I trailed it too tight and I got stopped out early. Now, what I really planned on doing, because I was in with 3 contracts, I planned at selling 2 off after the 9:30 wick on ES got taken out. And then I planned to hold 1 runner to the news high. But all 3 of my contracts got stopped out early at the ES 9:30 wick. So that was quite unfortunate. But still, we came out with like a 1-to-1. That's a nice way to end the day. 2 days green. Both green days larger than my red day. And ending the week on a positive note. I think this is what profitability starts to look like. This consistency. I think this is what trading should look like. And yeah, we'll go into next week with a clear mind, composure, the same consistency, the same discipline, and keep building these accounts up.
Stop filled.